think a microphone or a...
We can hear you, but we can see you.
You can see me?
No, not really.
Oh. Excellent. I thought I lost weight, but I didn't realize I lost that much weight. So, are we good to go? Okay, so anyway, thanks for everybody for being here. It's really, really exciting. We're here for the third time on a Keynote celebration. Number 3. Okay. In case you don't know who I am, I'm Chris Peterson. I'm the CEO of Galaxy. I'm sort of the head pirate, if you will. I love this picture. Today we're going to, first of all, of course, say welcome to Keyforge Celebration. We wanted to make a special thank you for everyone who's traveled so far. We have a number of people from outside the country. Welcome to America. And we just today broke our, what we thought was going to be the max limit of people that we would be able to fit. So we are now basically full. So Keyforge Celebration is more or less sold out. So thank you for making it. This is kind of the time where, at this presentation, I get to talk about Keyforge, the things that happened, the things we're going to do, the things we think are fun. We don't really have time tonight to take a lot of questions, but there will be a big question seminar for everybody Sunday at, I think, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or 4 o'clock. It's in the program. So let me take some time to, first of all, do a little year in review, which is more or less what happened this last year, right? So, first of all, we put out a bunch of products. So we put out new content for Keyforge. We put out Grim Reminders that came out this spring. We put out Just Arrived, Ember Skies, which we're really excited for. We also put out the Menagerie set, sort of a special fun set, and we put out the Tokens of Change. Okay, Tokens of Change, very popular, we're very, I guess, more surprised or we're very pleased that everybody loved that one so much. So we also put out several other products this year. For example, we put out the Great Hunt Adventure. And just recently, we've been working on kind of undercover for a long time, of course, is the multiplayer Vault Assault. Which in case you guys haven't tried it, highly recommended. We even have some special oversized Vault Assault prizes you can get if you win some of our prize points throughout the convention. So, in terms of organized play, we did a whole bunch of stuff last year. I'm sure everybody would have probably liked more, but we actually did, first of all, very beginning of the year, we had our store tournaments, several hundred stores participating in tournaments, thousands of players playing locally. And then we had our Vault Tour. I was personally on several stops, and I saw a whole bunch of you guys. Good to see you again. During our Vault Tours, we had 10 Vault Tours throughout the year, half from the United States, half from around the world. We also then had our nationals. We had 10 nationals, which are above and beyond the actual Vault Tours. So we have thousands of players in all play in our Vault Tours and national championships. And then we had, of course, the Martian Civil War. This terrifying player participation event that we're going to be talking about a little later today. Okay, so how about home bases? So one thing that of course we have been trying to do since we got Keyforge is to try to re-engage the retail community. There's lots of retailers out there that participated in Keyforge when it first came out, but then after Keyforge went through its various gyrations, we had the vast majority of retailers kind of step out. So we've taken a number of steps to try to bring in and really take care of the retailers that do want to participate and help support communities with Keyforge. So we started the home base program when we did the Ember Skies program, which is a plan to support and provide exclusive stuff to what we call home-based retailers. We had 100 retailers participate in that program. So what is the home base? What do they get? Well, we offer them special, exclusive, early release merchandise, includes the one set we made just for them called More Mutation. And I can tell you that we've heard back from so many retailers that have been absolutely thrilled with More Mutation. And I'm pleased to say that all those home-based stores are going to get another small tranche of more mutation for sales in the Christmas period, the holiday period. So, and there will be additional benefits to the home-based stores in the next Keyforge campaign coming up. So if you know a store that's not a home-based store, they can always call us directly, but we really want to take care of them. So our vision is to take care of every store that comes in and really do something special for them, because we have to regrow the store base. We have an awesome consumer base and a fan base and a player base, but we have to win every store back one by one, and so it's all about taking care of them when they come in. So that's a lot of fun stuff that we did. And we did a few things we should have done, which we did not do. So it's fun to talk about all the stuff that we did and that we thought was awesome, but there's a few things that we missed. So what did we miss last year? Well, there's a few promises that we made that we couldn't keep. Well, one of them was that we wanted to make a public presentation or release publicly the play style application to do tournaments in retail stores and local events. And with that, we were going to have a retail locator sign up event management module. Unfortunately, that software that got made just was not ready for prime time, and we're still sort of working on it. So that it did not make it. It never felt it was ready to go out. And so with that, we were planning on doing weekly OP packs that would go to retailers. And unfortunately, as they were waiting for the program to launch, it never happened. So this was that's definitely something that we felt that we failed in and that we need to do better this coming year. Last thing we probably fell short in was a few programs for new player recruitment. We did have a really great plan going that was actually still going to be happening. It's just fallen a few months short of the year, which is of course our upcoming Discovery set, which we'll talk about in a second. But it's sometimes we fall short, and when we do, then the internet looks like this. But as Brognar says, we can do better. So we will. But let's talk about some fun stuff. Let's talk about the future. Let's talk about things that we can really sink our teeth into. One thing I'm really excited about is, of course, this next set coming up. I'm always really excited about the next set. Okay, really excited about Prophetic Visions. This is a set that's probably been in our R&D pool the longest, and we've had a chance to really look at what could be really fun and do different things for Keyforge. And so we have invented this thing we call the prophecy mechanic, and I think you're going to love it. I think it's something that adds a real interesting flavor in a way like the token creatures did to every deck. And for the first time, you'd be allowed to actually maybe do something something you had predicted that could trigger during your opponent's turn, which is something that Keyforge has never seen before. So we're super excited about having that coming out. If you want to get a Foresight deck, which is simply a Prophetic Vision deck with a unique exclusive treatment, please follow the Game Found campaign. This will actually release to everybody in the spring of 25, and the campaign will launch for this game on the 21st. Again, if you have a retailer that's interested in participating and really getting all those benefits from us, please have them contact us, email us, call us, whatever. We want to bring them in. We want to give them a real benefit and a real financial incentive to come in and support Keyforge. So then we have Discovery, which I mentioned earlier. So this was one of the sets we really felt we needed a way to get new players into Keyforge, but we needed a launch pad to do that. So when a game hits the age of Keyforge, and it's now in 8 sets, we add kind of cool new mechanics and cool stuff to the game as players get more mature and they want to explore and have new things happen in the game for them strategically. But of course, as those things stack up in a game, anybody coming in from the outside, it may look a little too complicated, a little bit too convoluted. What's a tide mechanic? What is all this stuff? And so we really needed a sort of a set that we felt was going to be a really fun set. But just being fun did not mean it couldn't be super strategic and excellent to play. But I wanted to really focus on the core Keyforge mechanics. So not something that has super big layers of stacked mechanics from various sets, but something that really cuts to the core of what Keyforge is. So Michael and Luke worked really hard on trying to curate like the most excellent set of cards that they could for brand new players. Okay, so with this set will ship a new one-player starter, which is a much lower entry point for a player to come in and get the tokens, the rules that they need. And we're also going to be launching what we call the Discover Keyforge event, which is a huge kit and a big push we're going to make to retail stores to get new players in. Okay, if any of you guys are interested in seeing what's in that kit, that's something that we're going to be disclosing here in a few weeks. But we're really excited about having a push into retail, a push in particular to get new players in. I know you guys are not new players, so this may not be the most exciting set for anybody in this room, but of course it's important for us that we get flesh blood into the game. So basically our core releases for next year is Discovery, Prophetic Visions, and then we have our fall release, which shall not be discussed any further today. It is still a secret. We have to get you guys excited about Prophetic Visions though. It's really great, it's really super. Okay, so what's next? Let's talk about organized play for 2025. Of course, in addition to this, we're going to continue to work on the Playstyle app. In fact, a major update just went up today for the Playstyle app. So we will continue working on that to get a piece of software by which retailers and events and your guys' groups can record events, plan events, publish events, and obviously, hopefully, that will, even a software that can hopefully track what your decks are doing. So here in January, as I mentioned, we have the Discovery set release. February, March, again, we will have the store championship kits. Your store should be able to see the sign-ups for this coming out here within a few weeks. So that's going to be happening pretty soon. We'll have our Vault Tour again. So if you haven't been to a Vault Tour, please consider going. We'll be publishing where they will be, probably in, what do you think, Josh, about January time?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So this is our second run through these, so we're getting better and better at doing them and figuring out how to get our venues booked and how to get the international partners kind of locked in. So in August, we'll have another summer event surprise. This year, of course, that was the Martian Civil War. And next year, we'll have something similar, just as cool, and hope you guys will love it. Then in September, October, we'll do our nationals. So we're going to change it around a little bit so that what is a national versus what is a Vault Tour. So there's been some confusion on that. So basically, a Vault Tour is an event that is organized specifically by us, and that we take a lot of effort into attention to detail, and we try to put them into the areas that have a lot of Keyforge fans. We of course can't be everywhere, and so we have to disappoint some people around the world. But there are still a lot of communities in different countries that love Keyforge, and we simply can't get to them. So we really try to foster those communities, whether it's in Denmark or Taiwan or whatever, to allow them to have a celebration and then come together for Keyforge. So we help them put together a kit and help them crown their national champion. So any country that does not have one or more Vault Tours that are interested can do a national. So that's sort of our, we differentiate those two. And then finally, next year in November, Shirley's no surprise, that we'll have hope you'll all be back.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about something really interesting to me. This has been something that's been kind of on our radar for a long time. We even announced it, I think, a year ago. In fact, a year ago, maybe even more than a year ago, we came out and talked about this concept called digital ownership. And so last summer we said everybody needs to register their deck to have digital ownership. And then, of course, we sent a lot of you back to having to rescan your entire collection. And we're really sorry about that, but we kind of had to do it because FFG never had done the sufficient work in the back end to really track that digital ownership of your deck. Okay, so with that, there's a lot of benefits that come from that. One of those is the idea that you can make a deck clone. Okay, so what is a deck clone? A deck clone is basically another copy of your deck. And why would you want that? Well, for example, maybe your dog ate half your cards, and you really love that deck and you want to get another copy of it. Or maybe you were playing with it and another player walked away with a couple of your cards, you never saw them again. Maybe it's a deck you love so much you just don't want to travel around with it. Maybe you want to play with your kids and some decks you really like and you need more copies. Who knows? It could be a lot of reasons. One important reason that will actually help us in tournaments is that it also allows you, getting a clone of a deck also allows you to choose the language of the deck. So there could be people out there that, for example, have a Chinese deck and they want to play in the US. This actually causes a lot of problems for the players, particularly opposing a player with a foreign language deck like that. So this allowed us to basically have the ability to buy a foreign language deck and you can then buy a copy of it in English if that is the super deck that you want to bring to a big tournament, for example. So we have some updates in this program for you guys today. So, how is it going to work? Well, when we have this ready, you'll be able to go to the Master Vault, which is where you register your decks. You go to My Decks, and once you've gone there, you will find a section now called Order Deck Clone. All right, and you'll be able to select the language. You'll add it to the card, and then you'll be thrown over to ForgeFire, which is our software partner company that actually handles all of the creation of decks, and you'll be able to order it. So each deck will be $24.99, and it'll be made custom just for you. Okay, so that's how you get a deck. And so what is a deck clone exactly? Well, let's talk about how they're actually going to look. So first of all, every card in a clone will have this little symbol, this little copy symbol down the corner near the name. Okay. It will also have on the deck list, it will have a timestamp. Okay. So in case you want to get a clone deck because maybe you want to get updated rules or errata or something like that on your cards, you would actually be able to compare your date stamp on your list to see which deck is the youngest or oldest deck. So the backs of all the clones will actually look like this. They will all have the same back color, and they will all have the same avatar, which we call the clone avatar. Okay. There are too many issues that we have with bringing back those exact avatars from your decks for us to do that reliably, so we're unfortunately not able to do that in a way that made sense. So this is how your back of your deck will look. And they will be legal in tournament play with these two restrictions. So if you play a clone deck, you have to be the owner. You cannot lend it to anybody. And only one instance of a deck can be played in a tournament. Okay, so you can't give somebody the original and you play give a friend the original and you play the clone. So those are the only two rules, otherwise your clone will be fully allowed. Now, the playstyle system, when we check your deck in, will certify that it will recognize that it's a clone. And it will check to make sure that you are the owner of the deck. So, those are clones. What's really interesting about deck clones is you can actually order them now. So if you go on your phone right after this presentation, you can go through your decks and you'll see that they're in there and that they can be ordered. And you'll be able to select the language, obviously, but there's more. Because there's more cool things we can do with this digital ownership stuff that we have in mind. We haven't even gotten started, but we're really proud of this. And I should say that the technology team that's been doing this has been really busting their balls for the last, heinies for the last 4 weeks. And those two guys there in the corner can, the guy with the orange shirt and the green shirt is Lucas. So there's one more thing we can do now that we have this ownership stuff, is that we can do something called deck accolades. So what is a deck accolade? Well, a deck accolade is when a deck has won a tournament. So let's say, for example, that somebody wins the sealed tournament tomorrow, we will then award that deck that accolade, okay? And then anybody looking at that deck online will see that they won the 2024 sealed tournament. But not only that, if you want to get a clone of that deck, you can select the accolades that you want, and
Oh my
they
God.
will be printed. Accomplishments of your deck, you would be able to get a clone and would be able to show all your accomplishments. So the deck accolades for 23 and 24 events have been added to your decks today. Okay? When you play a Seal or an Alliance deck, all 3 decks will have that accolade. That's one deck. Okay? One more thing is that there are a few international tournaments, and we don't have all the data for the decks. So for some reason you don't have a winning deck and you don't see the accolade, just let us know. Okay, we just haven't had time to confirm certain international winners yet. So in addition to that, everybody who is participating in a World Championship event will get an accolade that we call a contender. Okay, so if you participate in any of the 3 events this weekend, all the decks that are, the deck that you bring to that tournament will become a contender and it will have that accolade. Now, whether you choose to put that on a clone or not, that's up to you. Every clone deck can have up to 3 accolades. Okay, but you guys will, everybody who plays will have a contender badge. And we went back through the data of 2023, and we gave all the decks that participated last year the contender badge as well. All right, cool, huh? So this is one of the really fun things to work on for the team, and something we're pretty excited about, and we had in our pocket already last year when we were here, and that was the Martian Civil War. So, the Martian Civil War, of course, was the great clash between the rebels and the elders. And many of you got the Civil War kit and you played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games. And we, today, have the result of the Martian Civil War. Remember, whoever loses this Civil War will be wiped out. You'll be wiped out. If the rebels win, the rebels take over the Mars faction. The Mars faction is toast. The new rebel faction takes over. If the elders win, the rebels have been shown the exits, and the empire will be greater than ever. So, what actually happened? Let's see. Here we go. Mars symbols survive in future boxes, but we will all get an emperor. Lemons. Okay, that's it. Civil War is over. Thank you everybody for participating. We literally had like over 1,000 different games registered for this, and couldn't be more pleased. So we're looking forward to how we can do next year's event. So with that said, I'm sure everybody is hungry and want to go for dinner. So I just want to thank everybody again for coming. I also want to take the time before I just take off is to thank the team that has put the event together on our side, particularly Josh. Josh right there is Jeremy over in the corner has worked hard. Keith Hurley with the camera here is all this audiovisual stuff. course, the development team with Michael and Luke. They did a great game on them. Also, I may be forgetting someone, but I also just want to make sure that you guys know them already and you may even hear them. But they travel all over the place to be with us and help judge our games. So G and Marcus, thank you. Taking up enough of your time. Time to start playing again. Thank you so much, and I'll be around all weekend, so if you ever want to chat with me, just feel free to come in and poke me. All right? Thank you, guys.
Yeah, the deck accolades was the thing I was working on all night.